Okay, so picture this, a secret cabal of powerful Jewish elders pulling the strings behind global events, plotting world domination. Sounds like a bad spy thriller, right? Well, that's the basic premise of the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, a notorious and completely fabricated document that's been fueling anti-Semitism for over a century. This text pretends to be the minutes from a secret meeting of these supposed Jewish masterminds, outlining their plan to control the world through media manipulation, financial control, and even inciting wars. It's basically a greatest hits collection of anti-Semitic tropes, all packaged together to make Jewish people seem like a dangerous conspiratorial threat. The scary thing is, people actually believe it. Despite being thoroughly debunked as a clumsy forgery, the protocols continue to circulate, popping up in different languages and formats, from dusty old pamphlets to slick websites. This is where things get really dangerous, because when people buy into this nonsense, it can have real-world consequences leading to discrimination, violence, and even genocide. So where did this vile piece of propaganda come from? Well, strap in, because its origins are about as shady as you might expect. The protocols first reared their ugly head in Russia in the early 1900s. This was a time of intense social unrest and anti-Jewish sentiment. The Tsarist regime, facing growing opposition, found a convenient scapegoat in the Jewish population. Enter the Okhrana, the Tsar's secret police. They cooked up the protocols, plagiarizing chunks of text from earlier anti-Semitic works in a satirical novel. Seriously. The goal? To stoke fear and justify their persecution of Jewish communities. And boy did it work. The protocols spread like wildfire throughout Russia and beyond, quickly translated into multiple languages, and disseminated across Europe. It provided a convenient justification for pre-existing prejudices, painting Jewish people as the enemy within. But things took an even darker turn in the hands of the Nazis. They embraced the protocols as proof of a Jewish conspiracy for world domination, using it to justify their horrific campaign of genocide during the Holocaust. Now, even though the protocols were exposed as a fraud decades ago, their impact hasn't faded. They continue to be used as a weapon to spread hatred and incite violence against Jewish people worldwide. Think about it. In a world flooded with information and misinformation, a juicy conspiracy theory like this can spread like wildfire online. With just a few clicks, someone can stumble across this dangerous nonsense and, without the context to recognize it as utter garbage, internalize its hateful message. And it's not just online. Extremist groups and hate mongers still peddle the protocols at rallies and in their propaganda, using it to recruit new members and justify their bigotry. It's a stark reminder that the fight against anti-Semitism is far from over. This ongoing circulation of the protocols highlights a dangerous truth. Lies, once unleashed, are incredibly difficult to contain. They take on a life of their own, seeping into different cultures and ideologies, often with devastating consequences. Now for the good news. Despite the persistence of this hateful forgery, countless scholars, historians, and journalists have dedicated themselves to exposing the protocols for what they are: a dangerous lie. One of the earliest and most important debunkings came from the British newspaper, The Times. Back in 1921, they published a series of articles meticulously tracing the protocols back to their fraudulent origins. They showed, beyond any reasonable doubt, that this was a sloppy cut-and-paste job, cobbled together from pre-existing anti-Semitic texts. And the evidence didn't stop there. Over the years, numerous investigations and independent analyses have confirmed the Times' findings. Historians have meticulously picked apart the protocols, exposing their inconsistencies, anachronisms, and outright fabrications. The truth is, the protocols are so riddled with holes that they wouldn't hold water in a teacup, let alone stand up to serious scrutiny. But unfortunately, that hasn't stopped people from believing them.